Hi, my Lighter and Brighter tribe. Hope you all had a wonderful holiday this week, whatever you celebrate, Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever it is that you celebrate. I hope that you've been able to enjoy some wonderful time with family and friends this week, with loved ones, wherever you are. I have been in Utah with my family for a couple of weeks now, enjoying the snow and taking a little bit of time off, and it's been really nice and much needed. But I'm excited to be jumping on here with you today. I hope that you all received my Christmas gift to you. If you didn't get it in your email, then I will make sure to post the link here so that you can go and grab that. And I'm going to be taking you through that today because I think it's a really awesome tool to assist you in this new time of year. I love the new year. It lights me up so much. Because it's such an awesome time to two things. First, be able to reflect back on the past year, on 2018, what's happened, the amazing things that have happened, the things that have not gone so well, what's worked, what hasn't worked, and then set intentions for 2019. We're in a really awesome time because it's like starting a new page. It's a fresh start. And I know everyone talks about like New Year's resolutions. I don't really love New Year's resolutions so much because we have a tendency to set little goals and then, work on them for a couple weeks, maybe a couple days, maybe, and then they go up out the wayside. So what I like to focus on is a vision and intentions for the year of what you really want to create throughout the entire year and the ways of being that you get to be inside of you and create inside of you in order to create those things and see those things come to pass during the year. And what that really takes is looking back and seeing how you're showing up now, how you've shown up this year, and what's that brought you, and then envisioning what you want to create in the new year, and then what it's going to take from you to make that happen, because it's really who we're being, and that is then manifested out in our world instead of doing the other way of what we want to get and working on that goal. It's really about who do we need to be in order to create that. So this is my gift to you this year. It's my Envision 2019 workbook. This is the 4th year that I've created this, and I love it. 4 years ago, it started out as a worksheet that I put together for my family and friends before I started my business, as my Christmas gift to them to send out, because I feel like one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves and other people is vision and the gift of opportunity to create what we want to see happen in our lives. And from there, it's grown into what it is now, and I'm sharing it with all of you. So it's digital. You can print it out if you want to. You don't have to. You can also just do it on your computer, but I wanted to show you the actual copy of it so that you can download it for yourself and take advantage of it. And it really, like I said, it's a guide to reflect on 2018 and then set intentions for 2019. I'm just going to walk you through it real quick, and then, like I said, I'm going to put the link here so you can download your own copy, but this just kind of gives you an idea of what's in it, what's there for you, and how you can utilize it to really help you start the new year. So the first page is what I call dream. So the very first thing you're going to do is brainstorm what would a wildly wonderful year look like for you. So put on some good music, sit back, and give yourself a good amount of time to really dream. Like I know we're adults, and sometimes we just think too realistically, and we think that we can't create the things that we really want, but the truth is that we absolutely can. And so give yourself space to really dream. What do you really want? I know a couple weeks ago I was on the phone with a woman, and I just was coaching her on getting into that vision and getting into that dream, because we need to give ourselves space to dream. Because the only way to create it out in the world is to first create it in our minds. And really the truth is we can create whatever we want, but we have to dream it first and create it in our mind first. And so that's why I love the wording here. What would a wildly wonderful year look like? Because it's not about like what's going to happen anyways, or what am I already experiencing, but what would a wildly wonderful year look like? Would I absolutely be amazed if a year from now, at the end of 2019, I'm standing there and I'm saying, oh my gosh, I created this. That's what I mean. So dream, just really dream big here. And then the next part of the workbook is reflecting back on this past year. And, you know, because sometimes life can only be understood backwards. And so, but it must be lived forwards. And I love that quote because we have to live forwards, but sometimes we can only understand what happened by looking backwards. And while we want to be present and we don't want to dwell on the past, it's very helpful to be able to reflect on what we have created and see why we created it and who we were being to create that, so that we can then, you know, create something different if we want to create something different. So this next part is the reflect part. So what was hard about this past year? What was good about this past year? Hi, Mary Jane. I'm glad that you're watching. Thanks for being here. What worked in your life? What didn't work in your life? What did you learn in 2018? What were your biggest takeaways? And, you know, what's the best decision that you made in 2018? Like, really celebrate. What was some awesome things that you did this year? The next page is a reflection on who you are. Who did you become in 2018? So, you know, the events that transpired in your life this year, the things that came to pass, the things that you created, who did you become? How are you different today than you were on January 1st of 2018? Because everything we experience has a way of changing us, people that we meet, things that we do. It changes who we are, and it creates differences in us. So really reflect on that. You know, who did you become this year? How did you grow? And then the next phase is planning. So what do you want the next 12 months to look like? Again, this is, you go back to this dreaming page where you know, took a half an hour with beautiful music on and just really gave yourself space to brainstorm, and then plan it into your year, because the next thing is if you don't plan it, it's not going to happen. So I've got, you know, January through December here, and plug it in. You know, I do this for my business, and I also do it for my life. Like, what would I like to see happen? I know my business coach, she always says that, like, she's penciled in, I'm going to have a baby in this month. She wasn't even pregnant, and it happened. And so it's amazing what our intentions can do when we think it in our head and then put it on paper and say, this is happening. Because the other thing when we create an intention is we're going to do it no matter what it takes. No matter what obstacles come up, no matter what things get in the way, when we put it on paper, we're like, this is happening and I'm going to create this. But it also reminds you on here, like, this isn't definite plans, this is a blueprint. You know, but if you don't think it first and plan it, then you won't do it. So, you know, just dream. Like, what would you like to have happen? You know, I mean, for example, I really want to go to Bali and Thailand this year, and I put it on my calendar for April. I get to create and figure out how that's going to happen, but it's on my, you know, it's on my planner, it's in my calendar, and I'd really like to create that. That's my intention. So anyways, the next page is become. So who do you need to be in 2019? So when you look at this plan and these things that you want to create in the new year, who do you need to be? This is probably the most important page in the workbook, because like I said at the beginning, it's really who we're being is the most important thing. It's how we create what we have in our lives. You know, so if I want to go to Bali and Thailand in April, like, who do I need to be to create that? I need to be excited about my life. I need to create the financial, you know, infrastructure to be able to do that, and all the ways of being that I need to be to create that. I need to be confident. I need to be happy. I need to be radiant. I need to be putting myself out there and showing up and in service to people around me. And that's how I'm going to create that. You know, if I decide that I don't want to do that and I just want to sit at home and not do the things that I love doing, then I'm probably not going to be able to create the means that I need to create in order to go to Bali and Thailand. So, you know, I also need to be adventurous and excited and, you know, all of those things in order to create that reality that I want to create of being able to go to Bali or Thailand. So, you know, that's just an example for you, but who do you need to be? How do you need to show up in order to create those dreams and those things that you want to see happen in your reality? And then this page is where you bring it all together and you really write out your vision for the new year. So what will 2019 be? What will it feel like? What does it smell like? What does it look like? Who's there with you? What does it taste like? This is where you get so clear, like it is already happening. And like I was saying a few weeks ago, I was on a call with a woman and I was really coaching her on how to vision, getting in the moment of this is what happens if we're standing a year from now at the end of 2019 and you're looking back at the year, what happened? And like actually feeling it, feeling in the moment with it, feeling like it's happened and feeling what it feels like to have created that, because feeling that is what motivates you to go forward and actually create it, is getting yourself in that state. And that's why this page is so important, because this is the page that gets you in the state of why you're doing it. So this page is awesome. That's why I call this Envision, because it's really important. And I love this quote too, because make your vision so clear that your fears become irrelevant. Hi, Evelyn. You are so welcome. I'm so glad that you got it. And I hope that I know that it will help you. I'd love to hear back from you once you go through it. Because guess what? The reality is our fears are going to come up, right? Like, okay, I want to go to Bali and Thailand. There's so many fears. Like, who's going to go with me? And what if I have to go alone? And what if I can't find cheap enough airfare? And what if I've never been out? I mean, I've been to Europe, but I haven't been to a third world country. Like, you know, there's lots of fears. But if my vision, and if I've created this page of how it's going to feel when I'm in Thailand riding an elephant, like that is what's going to push me through all of the fears that are going to come up. And so that's why this is so important, because when we create our vision and we know so strong why we want it and how it's going to feel to have it, the fears and the circumstances and the obstacles that come up to try and sabotage it, they just don't matter. We literally do anything it takes to create that vision. But if you don't take the time to envision it and really dive into what it really feels like for you, then all of the things that come up, they'll stop you. And that's just, welcome to being a human being. That's just how it is. So I added this page. This is a new page this year that I haven't had in the past. And it's about planning for those fears, because like I said, that's just kind of the reality of being a human being. So what fears or limiting beliefs are going to come up or may come up to sabotage your vision? So thinking ahead and thinking, I know, you know yourself, I know myself, what are the things that are going to try and stop me from creating what I want to create? And then how will I combat these fears? So once, you've identified what your fears and limiting beliefs are, how will you combat them? One of my clients right now is making a big move, and we did this exercise and it really helped her because, even though she's super excited about what she's creating, fears are still going to come up. And when we did this of how she's going to combat them, now she's prepared and it no longer feels as scary, because when it comes up, or if it comes up, probably will, she knows what to do with it. And then this question, what will you need to give up in order to achieve your vision? This one is not so clear, so that's why I wanted to do this training. In this question, what you're really going into is, what do you need to give up internally in order to achieve your vision? And maybe it's an external thing. Maybe if your vision is to create a wonderful partnership with someone that loves you, and you're in a relationship with someone that's not committing to you or doesn't give you the time of day, then maybe you need to give up that relationship in order to step forward into a greater, opportunity for yourself, because you're holding yourself back in that way. But it might be something internally, like if you want to, let's just use the same example. If you want to create a relationship with a wonderful partner that loves you, and you're not dating anybody, but maybe you need to give up the fear that you have or the insecurity that you have about yourself that no one will love you. That's something internal that you need to give up in order to create what you want. So there's two sides to that. What do you need to give up maybe externally, something that you actually have to give up? And what do you need to give up internally? What's something about yourself that's holding you back in creating your vision? And then the last page is, because we all, if you know me, you know that my biggest thing is being brave and having courage. And like I said before, then what people say, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is walking through them and doing the scary thing anyway. So how will you be brave in 2019? How will you step past your fears and, develop that confidence and courage within yourself to create the things that you want to create? So anyways, I just wanted to jump in and give a quick little short training on the Envision workbook, Envision 2019. I'd love to hear any of your takeaways from it. I'd love to see it. If you want to post in the group, that's what this group is for. My intentions for this group for the new year is to really get more, people really engaged. I really want this to be a community where people are sharing and growing and learning together. So for those of you that are watching, Evelyn, Mary Jane, I'd love it if you, when you work through this, if you want to post some of your takeaways in the group, or take a picture of some of the pages or whatever, and share your wins and share the things that you're creating so that we can walk along the journey with you. And thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this community. I wish every single one of you the most amazing dreams and blessings in the new year. And we'll be back here every Thursday with new trainings and new information. And I just want all of you to know how much I love you and how much I appreciate your support and being part of this community. So like I said, Happy New Year. Enjoy your weekend with your families and loved ones. And we'll see you back next week. Bye for now.